We are live. We are live.
Yeah, we are. Hi, guys. We're still alive. Welcome to Two Dudes Just Vibing, episode 4.
We're
live
live, but we're not live.
We're live with StreamYard. And we got a fun day kind of half planned for you today. I know we have our hour deep ass breath coming later on in the show. And what was it? The last two ones we had were life lessons. I swear I'm not texting anybody. The music, the audio ready for
the meaning of life, part 1 and 2, and then we had the first one. I don't even know what we talked about.
We watched the first meaning. Oh, the first video we had was we rewatched your first program you made when you were like little Daniel.
I erased that from my mind.
Oh yeah, it was so good. It's one of the only videos that has a copyright on it too, because the Doctor Who. So we ain't monetizing that video, baby. Oh boy,
Doctor Who was such a big part of my childhood as well.
Well, that's what it is. Making movies for you as transcended to your adulthood. And so it's really cool that that's a hobby that you've carried with you. And I put up this webcam just to not be in it at all, I guess. No, but it's really cool that you carry those passions with you from adulthood to childhood. I mean, if we all carried the passions
adulthood to childhood, does that mean I'm getting younger?
Yes, exactly.
You mean childhood to adulthood?
That's exactly what I meant. I'm so glad you figured that out.
As Doctor Who gets older, he looks younger though. So a bit of truth to that.
It's true. And at the same time, like, I'm just so glad that you're here to interpret my ramblings like a madman. But yeah, no, I think that if we all carried a little bit more of our hobbies and passions that we had as children, what a wonderful world the place would be.
Is that a cup of tea I see, Derek?
It is. It is the Great Value, which is the Walmart generic brand of peppermint tea, and I love peppermint tea. I know that it's mostly a drink that should be drinking chilled in the summertime, but I fucking love it. I love it.
Every time I have peppermint tea, I have it hot. I just have it like normal tea, like tea bag, hot water.
Agreed. That's where I'm at with it. That's how I party. I have my own. I guess I'll show off my little teapot here. I fucking love it.
Oh, that's nice.
It's cool. It looks like it's got some crazy like Aztec designs and shit on it.
I was literally about to say it looks like a relic that you'd find in Tomb Raider. Like where you go around and you find these like ancient sort of relics.
This is like Jesus's teapot.
It still has Jesus' DNA on. Let's clone Jesus.
That's Jesus's tears in there. It's delicious. I don't know if you had this tea yet, spiced with Jesus tears. Wow. Talk about heaven.
Jesus flavor.
I think Jesus was a real dude. You know what I mean? I think Jesus was a real dude. I think he was a real person. I think that, the Bible is a wonderful book of morals and values and stuff that teach you. I don't think you're supposed to believe every single word of it. So I think that Jesus was a real person. I think he was a real dude. I think that he captured the idea that we all walk with divinity or the power of God within us, which is a funny way of saying the universe, we're all connected through chi, through Tao, whatever you want to call it, the force, if you're a Jedi, like we're all connected together. In Christianity, they call it Holy Spirit. And I think he was just trying to share that with people. And 200 years later, they kind of just took his message and ran with it. But if I had a teapot that Jesus had, I would be really fucking stoked about that. Not because of like the monetary value, but like, even if you only look at Jesus as a human being, like the things he said and the things he did and the lessons he taught, like what a wise human being. What a wonderful, compassionate person who chose to like speak from his heart and lead with love. So whether or not I'm a Christian or whatever is besides the point. I can respect the fuck out of a person that Jesus was.
You know what's funny as well? I was on a spiritual page the other day, and I found a Jesus meme, and it says, "If anyone ever asks you what would Jesus do," and it said, "Remind them that flipping over a table and chasing people with a whip is within the realms of possibilities.
Yeah,
There we are.
I actually
Apparently, he did that. So it's like, what would Jesus do? Well, let's flip over a table.
can I show you a T-shirt? I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to catch it good, but I'll show you. I made T-shirts a while back.
Ooh.
Now just find funny things to put on T-shirts. That were
So we've got
funny.
Jesus teapots and Jesus T-shirts. I think Jesus like tea.
But no, yeah, I definitely made this shirt, which you can't really see it as well anymore, but it's got a picture of Jesus chasing people around with a whip, and they're freaking out and they're scared. And I put the word "yeet" over here, which
That's so strange because that meme I like. That's the first time I've seen it, and you just happen to have Jesus with a whip and whatever.
Yeah, no,
right next to you. That is weird.
What would Jesus do? And that's what he did. He was a real man who was passion, and sometimes that came out. You know what I mean? That's why I don't think that he was some crazy demigod that was righteous all the time. I think that he was a red-blooded human who had feelings and needs and passions, and I don't think that it takes anything away from his message in understanding that.
Thing is, like, as well, if you showed technology, as they say, to people in history, like say if I showed a computer or a phone to Vikings, they would say it's magic. Like, have you heard that saying where it's like technology is indistinguishable from magic? Thing is, like, if a human went back in time, or if humans in the past saw what humans were capable of now, I think they would think we were all magical, because they say like Jesus died and came back to life, but look how common that is now. Like, people die, they get revived, and if people saw that in the past, what happens now, I think everyone would think like everyone in present day is like a modern Jesus almost. Do
you think 2,000 years ago they had comas? You know what I mean? Do you think someone was in a coma?
That's what I'm saying. I think it was so rare, like technology used to be so rare, and now it's just a common thing. So maybe Jesus is just kind of like the modern man, or like maybe I don't know.
I think Jesus kind of had it all figured out a little bit. I think that this is just an idea. There's no historical proof. I don't think. I think there might be some scrolls somewhere in some Buddhist monk. That's what the argument is. So there's not much proof of this, right? But it's said to believe that Jesus, when he was 12 years old, when he disappeared from the Bible for like 16 years and didn't come back till he was like in his 30s, allegedly he had went east on the Silk Road, discovered Hinduism and Buddhism, and practiced those faiths, and then wanted to bring that back west over to Jerusalem and stuff. So on his way back, he was spreading his word, and when he came into town, things started getting bigger and bigger, because he was taking the Jewish faith but filtering it through the perspective of a Buddhist teacher, and then giving it back to them as a very new alien thing to him. I mean, when Jesus was running around chasing people and beating them with whips and stuff, that was the norm. I mean, we were still killing people for stealing, hacking arms off for stealing, or killing people. And I know that there's still places in the world that do that today, and I'm not trying to argue that, but that was the commonplace in his culture, was that this was a very barbaric time. So for him to flip the tables and whip people that he disagreed with was not out of the realm of normalcy in that time.
It's like almost like a redemption arc as well. Like, if you look at every single hero or every single villain in like media or fiction that's been redeemed, they've always had like a really bad past, and it's not always brought to light. I think when someone's truly like been redeemed, or someone's truly well, I don't want to say holy, but you know, that sort of present essence to them, I think a lot of people don't like to draw on the negative stuff they've done. Whereas when it's someone who maybe poses a threat to like society, or someone everyone likes to throw and bring the past up. I mean, I don't want to go on about this because I'm vegan, but there's a vegan activist who is potentially the biggest vegan activist in the world, and he used to be in prison. He was like a drug dealer and everything, and he went in prison, turned his life around. And I think with people like that, it's like a lot of people against him try and bring that past up and use it against them. But I think when you've truly kind of embodied like the holiness and embrace that, I think a lot of people don't like to focus on the negativity, like flipping tables or whipping, and they like to forget that sometimes.
Oh, the thing was, Jesus was flipping tables and whipping like literal days before he died. So he was already holy when he was doing all that stuff. You know what I
Right,
mean?
but they don't talk about it though, do they?
Oh no, they don't want to.
That's what I mean. Like when it's someone who's respected, they never bring up the negatives. But when it's someone who a lot of people are against, they love to bring up the negatives.
Oh, you never hear anybody talking about Hitler's paintings. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, if you think one person is just all good or all bad, then you're only getting half of the story about that person. If you are not mature enough to know that men and women are both capable of immense love and kindness, as well as like jealousy and fear and hatred in that same individual person, not just as a society, all of us are capable of extreme good and extreme bad. We wake up and make a choice every single day. What do we want to focus on? What do we want to feed into? Our good side or our bad side? Sometimes the world pushes us around a little bit and we open up that bad side. We open up those things we don't want to do. You know what I mean? Oh, they didn't know I was this at the end of the day. Ha ha ha. Let's keep the real me out. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I've been through trauma. I've been through abuse. I've done not nice things to other people. I've learned. I've grown. Anybody who goes out of their way to judge somebody's growth because they don't believe it's possible, it just shows, it speaks on their character, how much growing they've done. And because if they cannot believe somebody's allowed to change and grow for the positive, that just shows me that they're not willing to work to positively change and grow themselves because they don't believe it's true. They're literally limiting themselves from their own personal growth because they cannot believe it when it happens in others.
Yeah, I think one example you might be interested in as well. I know you're not really like a viewer of the Transformer cartoons, but there's a scene that reminds me of where basically there's an episode in a series called Transformers Prime where one of the characters called Starscream pretends to like switch sides to the Autobots, and Optimus starts talking about like how we have to forgive Decepticons, how we all have to come together to form peace. And one of the characters, a female called RC, she's like, what about killers? What about
rapists?
What about this and this and
what
this?
About the worst pedophiles and shit like that?
You know, well, I shouldn't say that, but yeah, that's what it implies.
No,
but
yeah, right.
Yeah, and Optimus says, without the hope, we can't achieve everlasting peace. Everyone deserves a chance for change. And it's like, no matter how far you've gone, so there are people who will, not everyone will see it that way, but a lot of people will be forgiving. A lot of people will give second chances.
In the Christian faith, God is the one who deserves to give out those second chances and forgiveness, and he's the only one who's allowed to judge. So everybody sitting here who claims to be a Christian yet judge other people, already fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, you're already breaking the rules. Two, like, yeah, man, everybody has it within them to change or grow or to choose not to. And how they live their life, which is best for them, is best individualized. How badly do I want to hop inside people's heads sometimes and be like, no, this is wrong. Let me fix this for you. But I can't. I cannot teach anybody anything that they're not open enough to learn. You know what I mean?
It's funny that you kind of mentioned something like that because, again, I don't want to make this about veganism, but
no, go on.
I've been vegan for.
I didn't mean to make this about Jesus today, but that's how
we're going with it. We're going with it.
Sometimes.
But I've been vegan for about 4 years. I started when I was about 18, 22. It's about 4 years, something like that. And for years, I've been telling to my family, like they've cut down on meat and everything like that. But for years, I've been saying like, the abuse the animals have and the abuse that happened in farms. Like, I don't know if you're aware, but like the animals will get beaten by, like, they'll be kicked, they'll be dragged, they'll be thrown, they'll be grabbed on forklift trucks.
I've seen
And
some of the videos. They're just
the
fucking
thing
brutal.
is, yeah, the thing is though, I've had so many debates with my family, like, this happened, and they're always like, oh, maybe, but they don't follow it up. And it really annoys me. It really bugs me how I'm like, I'm vegan and I just can't get through to them. And part of me has always said, like, maybe it's just not their time to be aware of it. You know, they'll wake up in their own time. And last night there was a documentary on the BBC that was released, and my mum was watching it, and she like, oh, come in here, have a look. All my family came and saw it, and there was a farmer who commented and saying, like, what I see here of the farmers kicking and hitting them with a spade and everything, like the cows. The farmer said that's a very common practice. And my dad was literally like, nope, and walked out the room. And I'm like, that's it. That's his time that he's realized. Like, all these years, I've tried to wake him up, and now it's clicked.
Did he say nope because he went in the kitchen to throw out all the meat? Or did he say nope because he refused to even hear it when the BBC said it and the farmer said it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, I mean, he didn't go and throw all the meat and the milk and everything, but I think he just couldn't comprehend that. And I think because he's like had milk in his coffee or whatever, I think he felt that a little bit. And for me, it's like I said, it's been so long that I've been trying to like wake my family up to realize it, even though they are aware of it. But I think that like seeing it was their time to wake. And it's like you said, you can't go around forcing people in the heads. And that's what I was trying to do for so many years. And now I've kind of thought, I've taken a step back and think it'll happen in their own time. And it has.
It's literally draining to you and your energy trying to crack open the code to tell somebody the information that you need to tell them for them to understand it. It's just draining. And a lot of people will go out of their way to misunderstand you so that way they can hold on to their biases. Their biases that, oh, you know, bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for breakfast every morning is fine because I used to do it with my mom and dad when I was a kid, and they would never want anything negative to happen to me. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, my phone is going off at the moment.
If you need to take it, you can.
Not even a little bit. It's for a publisher for that children's book, but I'll take it on my time. You know what I mean? I got a meeting going on right now that's important to me. While my watch is still vibrating, like, holy smokes, man, get the hint. But no, like I think that everybody's willing to hear their lesson in their own time, but only if it's said the correct way too. Like, I could tell somebody till I'm blue in the face, like, no, fuck you, you're wrong, blah 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 blah. You shouldn't eat meat, and then slap their fucking sandwich out of their hand and just fucking be like, you know what they do to animals, and then show pictures of like fucking cows being tortured in front of them. And they're just like, they're not ready to take that in. But sometimes when the BBC says it with a guy with a proper fucking tie and, oh, I'm Chet Chesner from BBC fucking 2, this just in. Here's the video of it. Despite you sitting there, their son that they've known their whole life that they should trust more than anybody else.
I know.
Happens. I could show you the video if you want to. And they're like, nope. Now, I'm going to say this freely. I'm a meat eater. I'd probably eat a bacon cheeseburger right now if I could. If it was sitting in front of me, I'd do it on the screen in front of you like an animal. And I'm sorry. That's no disrespect to you. That's honestly not even any disrespect to the animal. Like, I understand at the end of the day, animals are mistreated because there are people who believe that animals do not have souls and they do not feel pain or emotion the same way humans do. Yet science can show us, I don't know about the soul bit, but animals do feel pain. They definitely experience emotions watching other animals feel pain. Like, these are all things that are calculable and tested. So if you eat food that is commercialized 9 times out of 10. They're done in a warehouse somewhere where they're in a state of fear for hours, watching everybody they know and love get murdered in front of them. So even by the time they die, that's so much like pheromones of fear and rage and hurt and scared is already pumping through their meat. So when you're consuming that, that's the energy you're taking in. Don't forget that. We are what we eat, right? So last thing, if I eat a bacon cheeseburger in front of me, I'm going to get a cow and a pig that were both scared of for their life and their last hours of life. And that's the chemicals that are going to be pumped into all their muscles, fight or flight from the nervous system, like testosterone, all these chemicals. That's what I'm going to eat. So do you think there's a reason why we're walking around in a state of fear, paranoia, rage, anxiety all the time? Because this is the energy we're literally taking in from our food? Or like even like a free range animal, if they do it on a friendly farm, I don't know. They whisper it a little, they read it a bedtime story and someone
there's actually
behind it.
There's
You know
no
what I
such
mean?
thing
Like,
as free range, actually. That's
right?
yeah.
There's no such thing as free range. That's called hunting, right? Like if you're eating free range, you're hunting. You're going out into their home and being like, "Shh, be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits." But yeah, that is the essential free range. But even if you did that, like at the end of the day, what you really have to do with anything you consume, whether it's plant, meat, whatever, you have to be thankful. You have to understand that everything's all connected. Even the energy that animal died to give to you is going to be returned back to the earth someday to create plants that those animals are going to eat again. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be thankful that they gave their life for this part of the journey for you to take on that energy, whether that's the corn that the animals ate or the animal itself. You know what I mean? Like,
I think for me, it's like just the fact that we don't need to do it. Like, I agree with what you said about like the fear and we are what we eat and everything like that. I think for me, again, I'm not going to turn it into a vegan podcast. Maybe we could do that on another episode, but
you could, yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with you educating me and the rest of the world about veganism.
See, that's the thing. It's like, well, my first point was just like they don't have to die. Like we can release them. They don't want to die. That's been proven. Like if you go in like a slaughterhouse, they like especially like the pigs, they have to be dragged in because they know they're gonna die, so they want to run away. Obviously, if they were like, oh yeah, you know what, I'll sacrifice myself for humans, they'd run straight in, but they're not. But the thing is with veganism is
you guys want to turn me into fucking bacon? Oh, that sounds awesome. I'm in. Let's go.
I know. But yeah, like, but they don't do that. And the thing is that like I've got my German Shepherd right here. Like pigs are like more intelligent than German Shepherds as well. And my German Shepherd is
that's what they say,
quite smart. But I think with veganism is as soon as you mention that, people either shut off or they go, "Oh, another vegan." I've had that so many times. But the thing is, it's never, unless I've engaged in a conversation, like say we were talking earlier, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's like this." I don't mean to bring it up, but it's like veganism like this. Like I will just say what I want to say for the example, and then that's it. But I've had it so many times. Pretty much, I'm going to say 99.9% of the time, someone has engaged in a conversation with me about veganism in a way to almost trigger me and then put it on me. So they'll say something like, "Oh, does me eating this burger annoy you?" Or, "Oh, sorry, this poor piggy," and then they'll buy it, and they'll say some stuff to get me
upset.
Yeah, but they'll say something like, there's so many things to say, but they say something like, "Oh, how old was this pig when they died?" or something like that. And then I'll go into the point like, "Oh, they were this old or whatever, or this is how they died." And then they'll keep questioning to get me to answer, and then they'll be like, "Oh, another stereotypical vegan pushing their views on me," and it's like, I never started it, you started it. And I did it a lot in college, like it would be all the time.
Well, it's because one, a lot of people associate bad experiences with vegan activists, right? It's that whole idea, I don't care what you do, but don't push it on to me type of deal, right? Two, the reason why you do what you do is because you're passionate about helping animals, right?
Yeah.
So you want to share that passion with other people. Oh, you're an animal lover. You should probably look into veganism. So then you get two responses. Either the person who's had bad experiences with veganism, or they've just heard about somebody else's bad experience with a vegan and they're just like, oh, another vegan. Or
Yeah.
people who get upset because they don't want to change their lifestyle, even if they know that it's probably a good thing to do. And here's the thing. I'm the second one of that, but I'm not upset about it. Dan, I love the fact that you're a vegan. I love the fact that you care so much about every being on the planet that you don't want any of them to hurt or die for you. That's a beautiful thing. I know for a fact right now in my life, I'm not going to become a vegan. I'm going to continue eating meat. I'm going to appreciate the animal and that life that it carried and that it sacrificed to give me food, whether it was intentional or not, right? I'm going to be appreciative of it. But I don't think there's any reason for me to be like, oh, hey, Dan, let me fucking personally insult you or try to attack your lifestyle or your belief by doing something inappropriate or mean in front of you. What that is to me is you living your life and expressing your opinion about something in front of them, because their opinion differs so much and they personalize their own belief so much that they take that as a personal assault against them. It made them upset. So now subconsciously, they're personally insulting you in an attempt to make you feel upset, to have you feel the same emotion they're feeling.
I agree.
I read that. We watched a video, me and my girl. We watched a video that whenever you're having discourse with someone, 90% of the time, they're trying to make you feel the way you've made them feel, whether they're doing it consciously or not, and whether that was the feeling you meant to make them feel. So you talk about veganism openly, and because this person has a bias about veganism and they're so held on to their beliefs that I love my bacon burger, that they're already mad at you because you don't have the same opinion as them. They already feel uncomfortable and upset because you're probably right logically, but they're right emotionally, and they're allowed to have that opinion. So because they're upset and they've already feel personally attacked by their opinion being judged, they're going to try to lure and throw personal attacks onto you while trying to make you feel upset, because that's how they feel.
Yeah. I think as well, if it's not the veganism that people use against you, it's your own body image. Like for me, and this is the truth. So in school, way before I was vegan, you know when you're like younger and you're not like fat or anything, but you've got like that weight, if you know what I mean. And then you kind of grow up and you grow out of it. So I wasn't fat in school, but I had a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
And I would literally get bullied all the time. And the kids would call me fat. They call me all sorts of names. And then basically I started growing up, and they still made comments. And even my family sometimes were like, oh, you're getting a bit chubby or whatever. And I always stayed the same weight. And then when I went vegan, I'd lost a lot of weight, and people associated, oh, you lose weight when you're vegan, you go anorexic. I never have, but whenever we went vegan, people started saying, you're too skinny. And it's like, okay, 1 minute I'm fat, 1 minute I'm skinny. Like, and I think that was the moment when I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do me.
Yeah, I think the more people realize that other people's opinions matter zero in their own fucking life, like the better off they are. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I love everybody. I love everybody. Agape. I have love for every being on this planet. Everybody has an opinion that they hold true to them, that they're passionate about. I'll even take the time to listen to their opinion. But the day that I start letting them affect me too much is the day that I've lost control of myself. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm not going to be I'm not going to be perfect for you because if I'm this way, I'm too fat. And if I'm this way, I'm too skinny. Like it never matters. You're not going to please everybody all at once. Who was it? Jesus died trying, right? That's the expression to bring it back to JC.
Yeah.
Jesus died trying to please everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so fuck everybody. Just, you only have your life ever, 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 ever. Even if you die and you return to this gigantic monolith of energy, this galactic universal computer of everything, of all conscious that is, and you go up and you're like, hey man, I got a full report on Daniel Griffin. He was a fucking great dude. I loved being him. They're like, cool. Now you got Angela Stewart over here. You fucking go be her this life. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Shout out to Angela. I hope you see this one day. But anyways, even if you do all that, you'll never get to be Daniel Griffin again. You'll never have February 15th, 2022 ever again. So do you dance like nobody's watching, sing your fucking heart out, do the things that make you happy every single day, because at the end of the day, you're only going to have one chance at this.
Yeah. You know, that really resonates because this is something that I heard ages ago, and it's been on my mind. It's weird. Every time I seem to talk to you, like before we had the podcast, things pop in my mind, but I can't remember exactly how it goes. But there was this kid or this guy, and he was trying to be like a husband and friend or whatever. And then he was trying to be like Superman, then he was trying to be someone else, and he was trying to be like different people. And again, I can't remember what exact example. There were like 3-4 different sort of people, like I said, Superman and everything.
Through your heroes, you try to emulate them. You try to take on their characteristics. And
and he was like, I'm trying to be Superman, I'm trying to be Spider-Man, I'm trying to be all these. I'm trying to be human or whatever. And when he went to heaven, like I think like God asked him something like, "Okay, you're a good Superman, you're a good Spider-Man." But I don't know. Let's say this guy's name's James. Let's say, it's like, but you were never James, and it's kind of like you yourself. You could try and be loads of different people, but there's only gonna be one Derek. You know, it's your only chance to be you. So be you. Don't be someone else.
Who's the person that you idolize? That'd be your hero. That would be who's a real person who's alive today. That you would go, oh my God, I wish I was like them. I don't know. Jason Momoa, maybe Chris Hemsworth or somebody big, somebody strong, somebody who's like super accomplished in their field. I don't know. Maybe it's an astrophysicist, maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson, or, some a philosopher, Carl Jung or something like that. But even if you try to emulate those people, even if you tried to be the best Arnold Schwarzenegger and you walked around and you did his routine every day and you ate his meals every day and you hit the gym every day and you dressed like him and you talked like him and da-da-da, there's already the best Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's already that guy. He's already here. The world already has him. We don't need the second best Arnold Schwarzenegger. We need the best Daniel Griffin. We need the best Eric Blakely. That's what we need. We need the best you. So that's the reason why you should expect other people to be able to grow and not judge them on their past, because growth is a wonderful thing, because every single day you should be growing to be the best version of you instead of being the best second version of The Rock.
No, I agree with that.
Help you, sir. Were you the one calling me earlier, Jackson? Is there like an issue?
My dogs keep coming up to me as well. Like I'm a Labrador.
He's like looking at me. He's like, Timmy's in a well. I'm like, I don't even know it, Timmy. I don't even think there's a well on this property where my apartment complex is. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, dog.
My webcam's positioned too high, so you can normally like see the walk past, but yeah, if I'm looking like it, it's because my dog's just staring at me.
Well, this is the first time that I've used the webcam, so I have really no fucks given. I'll take you guys on a trip. Like, here's Jackson over here being annoying AF. Jackson, what is it? Tell me what you want. What you really, really want. He looks like he's like he might be getting ready to get kidnapped or something. I don't know.
Aww.
He always looks so sad.
Well, my dog's starting to wag his tail now.
Oh boy. He got
Right?
excited. He heard little Jackson moaning over here and he's like, friend?
Might be able to get him up on the chair a little bit. Oh, ready? Come on. Come here. Let's see if we can get Riley up. Stand up. Come on. Come on. Don't sneeze on me. Come on.
Don't sneeze on him.
There we go. There we are.
Bougie boopers.
Say hello, everyone. To
Hello,
Riley.
everyone. I think right now, while we have the pets here, I think Jackson needs it too. Let's take a deep ass.
Is that Riley? No, there. Yeah, deep. I forgot about that. Hello.
We're having such a good talk today. We almost forgot about that deep ass breath.
What are you doing, you
Right,
silly
Insight
dog?
Timer. Shout out to Insight Timer. They're not
What are you
sponsored,
doing? Oh.
but they do have a free app on my Android, and they have hundreds of thousands of guided meditations. Some of them just music, some of them people chatting, sometimes people chatting with music. But I'm going to put on a timer here, and I'm going to set it for a minute so we can get our deep ass breath.
Deep ass breath time.
All right.
Are you ready for a deep ass breath, Riley?
Oh, Jackson. I think Jackson might be ready for a deep ass breath. He's got his butt in my face, so I hope he doesn't expel it out the wrong hole, this deep ass breath. You know what I mean?
I think, Max, are you ready for your deep ass breath?
All right.
Yeah,
Let's hit it.
he's having it outside.
Two dudes just vibing, coming at you with that deep ass breath. It's your humble host, D-Rock, reminding you that all of your chakras are important, especially the one in your scrotum. You know what I'm saying? That's the one where you got to get real deep. So we're going to breathe in our scrot chakra today. Take a deep ass breath. Now, some people call this the sacred chakra because the scrot is also known as the family jewels. So you want to make sure you open this chakra real wide, especially day after Valentine's Day. Make sure you get all that stagnant, nasty energy out with the exhale. Make sure you're getting some fresh prana in from that inhale going to your scrot sac and that open chakra deep in your sacral. You know what I mean? Taste that air while you got it in your mouth. Is that good air? Is that clean air? If not, go outside. Get that super duper sacral breath. For your scrot chakra, this has been your 1 minute of deep ass breath.
Did you enjoy that?
Jackson,
your tail's wagging.
Jackson clearly opened up his fourth brown eye. Yeah, we do believe in meditation. Meditation is really good at connecting with the moment and getting out of your own head.
What are you doing?
And checking in with your body. Come on.
Dig into me.
Jackson,
Why?
all right, go lay down.
I think I'm stuck here for the rest of the podcast.
I love you, but you gotta go lay down. You're doing too much.
Ow! Riley, that was a bit sensitive.
Riley, we kicking out all the dogs that are misbehaving.
Come on, Riley, come on.
You're on thin ice. Jackson,
boy.
beat it, you beat Nick. Nope, you gotta go. You've been kicked out. You've been kicked out.
Oh, so much hair on you.
I had to talk to him in his beatnik language. I had to like the ending of the poetry jam. I was like,
Are you gonna go lie down on your bed?
yeah, go take that hairy bed.
I could let them outside. Let them have a deep ass breath outside.
I mean, that's not a bad thing. My little guy doesn't have a fence or anything like that. And we're kind of like in an apartment complex. So somebody would just take my dog if I just left him outside. You know what I mean?
I'll let them outside for some deep ass breath.
Yeah. Remember to bring him in a couple minutes. It's a little chilly where I'm at.
My legs are sore now.
Woo! This has been a great episode. We got talking about Jesus. We got talking about veganism. We got talking about slaughterhouses. We got our puppies all up in this video. Luna. Whew. If I'm lucky, I might even get a cat up in this video.
Really got to us.
We definitely handled that deep ass breath. That was good.
It was.
We made sure we charged up your scrot chakra.
As soon as you said that, I was gone.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't put the chakra there, man. I'm just saying that's the one. That's the one we were
that's
charging
the
up today.
thing. That chakra is the one. Like, you know, I've told you before about chakras, and I think you said you don't know much on them. Like, I've studied them quite a bit, but the one thing I cannot understand is where the sacral chakra is, because every time I research it, it's in a little bit of a different area. Like, for males, it's a bit lower. For female, it seems to be higher. And then other times, it's like nowhere near that area. And I'm like, where is it? Is it? Sometimes I see it on the spine. Sometimes I see it like in.
A lot of guys have this problem with where is it? You know what I mean? And I'm here to tell you the secret. And ladies, listen up.
I didn't mean that, but yeah.
No, in my opinion, the chakras are something that's super important, but again, individual. Where you manifest and perceive your chakra to be, that's where it is. You feel me? Since it is a pool of energy, that is where you place it, manifest it in your mind, in your vision. It manifests in your body that way. That's the reason why it doesn't show up on MRIs or anything like that. It's because most of our life is lived in our brain. Now, just because if you have a fantasy about an argument, you'll realize that your hands start shaking, your body starts to physiologically change because of the memory or the feeling you had being associated with it. Your body can't tell if something is real or fake from your mind, because your mind is the thing that tells things what is real or fake. And if you feel it, it does not matter. So your chakra is very similar in that way. If you believe in it, you're going to have a chakra. If you believe it's here rather than there, that's where it's going to be. So my belief personally is, I don't know if you ever heard of this yokai, these demons in Japanese lore, but there's these like, honey, what's that one turtle frog guy called? The kappa? The kappa. And one of the things they try to do is rip your soul out of your butthole, because right behind your butthole, there's a part of where there's a ball of energy that is your soul, and they try to rip it out of your butthole.
Okay.
So in my sacral chakra is that spot that these copper are trying to come after, bro.
I watched a program the other day, and it was about paranormal, and it said a lot of people get demons scratch them on the back because that is where your chakras are. Like, they're obviously, like, your spine is there. It's like your chakras wherever they are in the body. The spine is where the energy travels up.
You gotta go?
Yeah.
All right, I love you. Yeah, so demonology is a little bit different than chakras, because I don't know how much chakras are in Christianity, right? But I do know that when they see scratches, there's usually come in threes, and that's supposed to be a mark of the Holy Trinity. And again, I believe that our bodies react to our thoughts. Like, if I have a really, really, really upsetting thought, I can actually break out in hives on my face. So I feel like if you have a nightmare or really, really, really bad thoughts that something scratched you, you can manifest that with your brain. I believe that personally. Is the science there to prove it? Not yet. I think there's a lot of things that happen that science cannot disprove, because they've clearly happened. There's just no explaining it, right? I think that, like you and I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe said, magic is science yet to be explained.
Yeah, Transformers said that as well. I think it was Arthur C. Clarke. Right? Yeah.
It's a common thought.
Yeah.
It's one of those revelations that, like, when you hear it, you're like, wow, that's so profound. But in your head, you're like, yeah, I kind of knew that the whole time. You know?
Yeah. I think as well with chakras, I don't know if you've experienced it.
Text me when you get to school, okay, babe? I love you. Sorry.
But it's all right. I can actually feel it. Like, I've got some friends who don't really believe in chakras, but when I do like a root chakra meditation, I can feel it. And the thing is, like, if I do it all the time, I build a resistance. When I haven't done like a root chakra meditation like 6 months and I get back into it, it hurts. I'm not kidding. It hurt. I feel it in the spot. If I put so much tension on it, and it's not because of like, I'm thinking about like this finger and I can stop feeling it. Like, I can't explain it. It's just like you feel it, and it's weird. And if you haven't
energy pooling up in a place where you're telling it to go,
and if you haven't balanced it, it hurts.
That's how you perceive it, right?
That's
So
all right.
somebody
Yeah.
who doesn't believe in chakras can't even fathom that. Somebody
Yeah.
like me who does believe in chakras but doesn't know much about them can fathom that, but I don't experience the physical pain. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, you do a lot of exercise like kickboxing and stuff. So you're very much in tune with your body already. So you're willing to notice little differences within your body. And you meditate often too. So you're constantly doing body scans and checking in with your body. So you have a strong enough mind that you could definitely physically react to the thoughts in your brain.
Yeah, I think as well. It's like if I spoke to some people, some of my friends who's skeptics, they'd say, "Oh, that's because you're gullible, or that's because your mind is telling you that." But I think for my beliefs, it's like no, it is real. It's not just my mind just making it up. Like for me, it is real.
That's what it,
Um,
yo, bro.
yeah,
Reality is socially constructed but individually maintained. So
yeah,
that means we all build your world. We all know this is a table. We all know this is a microphone. This is a camera, blah, 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 right? But at the same time, you see the elephant in the corner, the pink elephant in the corner, the one over there with the happy birthday hat and the fucking yellow ribbon around its neck, and it's terrifying. And nobody else can tell you that that's not real because to you it is. So the world helps you build your reality, but at every single day, we're the ones doing the maintaining and the upkeep and everything else. So if there's a fucking pool of energy in your sacral spot where your chakra is and it's not balanced the way that you need it to be, it's going to feel unwell until you fix that because you are so in tune with your mental and your body that you are capable of feeling that energy. It's the same thing with Wiccans. They believe that, you know, their crystals do this one thing for them, and if they do it too long, the crystal's energy drains and they got to go charge it in the full moon. And then after that, they feel there's no way I can tell them that that's not real because they experience it. They manifest it physically through their bodies, through their beliefs mentally.
that's the thing. Like I've got rose quartz on here,
Mhm.
and like, I do have stone and crystals and everything, but um, it's strange because some ones that I put on, like, I'm not. I'll admit this, and it's not a good thing. I don't know. I can't really cleanse crystal very good. Like, I don't have sage. I don't have all the stuff to cleanse it with. I do my best. Like I wash the
I got
crystals
things
in
kicking around
water.
over here. I sage my house. Sorry.
Yeah, I wash them in water. Sometimes I bury them in the ground. Sometimes I'll put them on my windowsill for the sunlight. But it is strange because sometimes I'll put a crystal on and I'll be like, this feels good. And sometimes I'll put it on and I'll be like, oh, this isn't very good. But I actually bought some crystals Sunday. It's Tuesday today, Sunday. So about 2 days ago. And it is weird. It's like tarot cards and oracle cards. You feel drawn to certain ones. And I can't explain it. Like if I have like 100 to pick from, there'll be one that stands out to me and I won't like feel it around. It'll just be like that one. And I think unless you're open to it, because a lot of people shut off to it, and it's like, oh no, it's just a stone. Like, I've got one in my pocket actually. I forgot. It's a
People aren't
dragon
using
stone. But
people
as
aren't
soon as I
using
saw it, yeah, I was
sorry.
like, wow. And it's like you feel drawn to certain ones.
People aren't using their full potential of their intuition. That's what it is.
Yeah.
If you shut yourself off to things, it's not going to matter to you. Crystals don't matter to you because you shut yourself off from crystals, right? But if you open yourself up to crystals and make them important to you, they're going to matter to you so much that it's going to change how you feel physically because you know more about it. You've educated yourself on what the crystal does, and you open yourself up to letting the crystal do the thing that it's meant to do. So it's like, yeah, no, it's our intuition, the same way like a woman knows when she's, you know, feeling in an uncomfortable
You can take that
situation.
if you need
No,
to.
I'm fine. It's someone by the name of Scam Likely. You know what I mean? Like,
We're probably coming close to closing up anyway, but yeah.
yeah. What was I saying? Like, there's intuition. There's women's intuition. There's that your gut feeling. You're gonna know if something's going on. That feeling, you know, if somebody's watching you. Everybody experiences these things, yet science can't understand why we go through these things. But if you're only using your intuition on instinct like that, then you're not going to go very far. If you sit there and put in the work to listen to your body, quiet your mind through meditation, focus on your instinct, you can follow your intuition to things like tarot and crystal and opening up your chakras and finding things that are actually going to help you, instead of sitting around and being like, well, all of that is hoopla, so I don't believe in it and I'll just sit here and suffer.
Yeah. I think it's good to, even if it's like mistakenly believed, just have some sort of belief just to kind of guide you. I mean, you don't always have to follow it all the time. I mean, that's why I like spirituality, because it's kind of going back to like last week's or week before episode when I said like sometimes we overthink and we're often right the first time. Like first time we see something, we're right. And like for me, part of my journey was I first discovered 7 chakras and stones, and then I was like reading as much spiritual stuff as I could, and then I realized, why am I reading all this when there's like no evidence or whatever? And I started going on this path of like maybe it's all rubbish, and then for some reasons I can't remember what it was, but something just put me back on the path, and it's like opened me back up to it. And again, it's like going back to I was kind of right the first time. But the thing with spirituality is it's not like a religion where it says you have to do this or that. And it's really what you make of it. And you can change your beliefs, because if you believe in spiritual awakening, you know, you have new experiences all the time. You have like spiritual downloads or whatever. And you get new information all the time to change the perception. Whereas, you know, as opposed to sticking with one belief for 50 years and never changing it, never learning it.
If you follow most of the beliefs and you kind of look between the lines, you realize that most of them, they're just saying the same stuff with different words. You know what I mean?
It's someone else's experience as well, isn't it? Where like spirituality is like yours. It's like what you make of it.
Well, Buddha said it himself, like, I'm going to share with you my path. If this path does not feel right to you, like, don't walk this path. Like,
I didn't even know that.
This is my path of enlightenment. If it doesn't feel right, then it's not for you. That's okay. And Buddhism, the one thing I really enjoy about Buddhism is the monks don't want money. They exchange food and shelter for, their wisdom and their talks and their good karma. It's good karma to feed a monk. You get good karma from the universe if you feed a monk. You know what I mean? Like, even if he says nothing to you and you just come and bring him a basket of foods and he bows before you because you did that good deed of feeding a monk, like it's good karma. So even just that experience with a Buddhist monk is a wonderful thing. You're already, trying to get something out of the system, that good karma. But imagine how much karma they could get if they realized that feeding your neighbor would get you good karma. Like feeding that person across the street and gives you good karma. Like feeding someone across the world who needs it gives you good karma. It's like,
yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think as long as you can, live life and think, I'll try and help someone who's less fortunate or in a bad situation. I think that kind of like defines, character for someone, really.
I think I missed something there. Come again?
I was saying, like, if you live your life helping someone else who's less fortunate,
yeah,
and like try and take them out of a bad situation, it says a lot about your character.
Oh, for sure. It says that you you look past yourself and you realize that you're not the only one suffering in this world. The world is filled with suffering for everybody. And if you can ease somebody else's suffering, that's one of the most beautiful things you can do. And then the secret, don't tell anybody this, Dan. Shh. If you do good things for other people and you see how happy that makes them, it fucking makes you happy too. Don't tell it. Don't tell
it. The
biggest
safe with me
to get super fucking happy real fast is do something kind for somebody. Open a door, say good morning, give somebody a compliment about their jacket or their hat. Jackson, I love you so much. I love you. How do you have such a wonderful, strong whimper? It's a beautiful thing. Is there any way that I could beg you to be quiet for like 5 more minutes? I love you. Do something good for somebody else, like especially a stranger or somebody who's different from you. If you get to like even just taking the time to learn how to say somebody's name properly or asking somebody something about themselves, it makes somebody's day. Like I've had experiences where I just saw somebody having a bad day and I'll be like, hey, hang in there. It gets better. You know what I mean? Or like, hey, you got this. You are enough. Don't worry about it. Like, and just that little bit of kindness goes so much farther. And I mean this in real life, and I mean this on social media too, because there's so much ugliness and anger and, just vileness sometimes on the internet. And I think we all get a little guilty of it sometimes. Oh, somebody said something somebody said something so completely stupid that you had to call them a moron while you were correcting them. You know what I mean? But but there's people out there that are just trolls, and sometimes you got to give yourself space from that, and other times you got to remember that sharing positivity is so much better than sharing hatred.
Yeah. And it's like what you just said about we've all done it. Tying it back. We seem to tie things a lot in these episodes, but it's like going back to the start where we talk about redemption and learning from the mistakes. Yeah,
personal growth. Yeah.
I guarantee if you compare yourself now to how you were 3 years ago, if you could, it's always amazing. If you could chat to your younger self, or if you could chat to your future self, how would it go?
Well, I think it was Muhammad Ali said that you could be in the same place in life for 30 years, but all you've done is wasted 30 years. You know what I mean? I'm paraphrasing his quote there, but Jackson.
I think your dog might need the toilet.
We all love you, Jackson. Yeah, well, I think that's the perfect place to end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's about that time, Jackson. What do you think?
End it with some dog love.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you guys so much for chatting. Dan, as always a pleasure being the dude to your dude to vibe with. You know what I mean?
And you, mine.
And Jackson, the third wheel.
We got Riley and Max outside as well, so they're the fourth and the fifth wheel.
Yeah. So. Jackson, you're the spare tire because you're
I'll be the spare tire. He can be the front tire. I'll be the spare.
Jackson, you're not the spare tire. You're the main ones. That's why we can hear him squeaking so loud. I'm like, oh, we gotta put that spare tire on, man. We gotta get Jackson off. I love you, Jackson.
Right. Have you got any final words before I end?
Do I have any final words before we end? Every living creature deserves kindness and compassion, no matter what they've been through and what they've done. If you look at somebody's worst deed and you look at their past, you could probably see where it might be influenced by past traumas or beliefs put there by somebody else, usually family. So if we can understand that everybody's going through their own personal tragedy that they're writing every day inside their head and have compassion for that, the world would be a far, far better place.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's summarized pretty much everything.
And I think the title of this episode is going to be Jesus, Veganism, and Good Karma.
Nice. I like that. All right. Yeah, so...
was Jesus a vegan? Obviously not. He had fish and bread. I'm sorry, he did. What would Jesus do? He would share fish and bread with everybody and whip you while throwing your table across. I think I'm gonna, again, I think this is paraphrasing here. That's my favorite Jesus story ever. He's so mad that they're selling animals for sacrifice inside the temples that he walks in and he's like, do you know who I am? I am God's son.
I need to read
how
that.
dare you take my father's house and turn it into a den of thieves, and just flips the table and is like, ah! and just starts hitting people. And like, I mean, it was outbursts like that who kind of got him in trouble around Easter time. You know what I mean? He was making too much of a fuss in the Holy Capitol at the time. And Rome is like, hey, yeah, you guys want to do something about this, or you want us to do something about this? And the Jewish people were like, yo, man, you guys got to take care of this too much. This is wild. You know what I mean?
And what story was that? What's that called?
This was honestly this was right around the crucifixion of Jesus. Like he came in time for Passover and started going way too hard on the preaching, way too hard on not letting people kill each other over, perceived sins, because that was biblical law at the time. And then he went in there and started making a fuss inside the temples, and that's when the head Jewish leaders of the time were like, no. We're gonna need some help, Rome. You guys are the ones in control of this city-state at the time. This guy is being too much of a rabble rouser. He's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that then. I'll look into it.
Definitely do. It's the whole story of Jesus is very interesting to me, especially if you can look at it through the lens of all of us are divine beings. All of us have the same molecules in our body that were composed in the heart of the dying star. And before that, other dying stars. And before that little tiny infinite speck that was the Big Bang, when God was whole, was one piece. You could call it a God at one point. Now it's just boom, energy, matter, dark energy, all that space, everything we know and we don't know, infinite. The omega and the alpha, whatever you want to call it, that's God, right? That's what the universe is. Like, take a Snapchat of everything we know about the universe, take a picture of it, and there's your face of God.
That's like the perfect one to end on. So, if anyone has any questions, please comment below or just give us your thoughts on this episode.
Yeah, and come on in, talk, please. We welcome it.
We'll hopefully be doing a live one next, won't we? Hopefully, live.
We want to keep it peaceful and keep it nice, and if you're passionate, please use profanity. I love it, but please be kind to one another. If we're debating in the comments about anything,
be kind with respect, really, isn't it?
Yeah, be kind. Rewind.
Be kind, rewind. Yes.
Double read what you're gonna say, and if it's not that nice, maybe edit it a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Right, we will see everyone on the next episode again, hopefully live.
Yeah. We'll try it live next time.
We'll see you later,
alligator.